Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our loving pranams at Swami's Divine Lotus feet. A very warm good morning. Warm, it's becoming warm. Winter is giving way and the new season is expressing itself. That's visible in Chennai. It's so memorable coming back to Sundaram. What brother did not introduce was that I also had the opportunity of coming to Sundaram along with Swami during the Atirudra Mahayajnam in 2007. And that was my first visit to Chennai. That was also my first visit to Sundaram. And we had stayed in this very mandir for 12 days. So every corner of the mandir is so memorable for us because we had stayed with Swami in this Sundaram mandir. We've had food with him inside the dining room upstairs. We've had sessions with him inside. And some of the brothers here were there as a part of the Sevadal who were assisting in the organization of Swami's visit and also helping with the organization of things inside Sundaram. So each room, each slab, each wall has a lot of memories, and when I walk in the corridors and in the balconies of Sundaram, all of those beautiful memories come back to me. It's so nice to be here this Sunday morning also because this program is dedicated to youth. The definition of youth, of course, is undergoing change. Earlier, the youth were those who were considered to be in their teenage and 20s. Then the youth were up to the age of 35. Recently, the international organization, Sai organization, has extended the age of the youth through 40. But I see some are eternally youthful at heart, so even if they are senior citizens, they are part of the youth group. So that's the kind of youthfulness that the journey of spirituality and the Sai mission inspires. And I'm happy that we've all had the time to come here this morning and relive and rededicate ourselves to Swami's mission. Actually, we always say that it is Swami's mission. I think that's itself an incorrect way of expressing it. Swami has no mission. Swami had come to awaken us and show us that we have a mission on this planet, and he's portrayed and provided a platform for us to live this life in a more fruitful and meaningful way. So to say that the Satyasai organization is Swami's mission is incomplete without saying that it is also our mission in our role as human beings who've come to this earth in order to achieve a purpose. The mission statement of life, as we were always told when I was studying in Prashantinilayam, is one sentence: you are born so as not to be born again. You are born so as not to be born again is the mission statement of human life. And if that is the mission statement of human life, all that we need to do and all that we do has to be in alignment with that mission statement. Since this whole topic is connecting values-based management and spirituality, it's important to identify the mission statement of an organization while we establish it and then work towards achieving it. Similarly, it's important to understand the mission statement of life and work towards it while we are eking out our daily livelihoods and also living a personal life, a professional life, and a spiritual life. So the mission statement of life is you are born so as not to be born again. In the Viveka Chudamani, Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the foremost proponent of Advaita Siddhanta, had said, and I need to emphasize this here because we always tend to identify and compare ourselves with others. How fortunate or how lucky are we? How blessed, how affluent, how capable, how skillful, how knowledgeable, how well networked are we is a question we all the time ask ourselves. What is the parameter to judge whether we are truly blessed or not? Or who are the most blessed individuals who've come down on the face of this earth? And he gave the answer to that in the third verse of the Viveka Chudamani. He said, Durlabham trayamevaitat daivanugraha hetukam manushyattvam mumukshatvam mahapurusha samshaya. These are the three things which are the rarest and most difficult to get, and they are possible to get only by divine grace. We ascribe several things to divine grace. Oh, If I have a good job, it is divine grace. If I am married into a good family, it is divine grace. If I have children, especially a son in the Indian tradition, that is divine grace. If I have a good job and regular salary, it is divine grace. Yes, all of this is definitely divine grace. But the most outstanding features of divine grace are these three, given in the 800 AD by Adi Shankaracharya, which is Manushvatvam. To be born as a human being itself is the first and the most important part of divine grace. Because there are 84 lakh species in this creation. But Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. Among these 84 lakh species, several thousands of which are there in this room, but we can't even see them. The microorganisms, the insects, the amoeba, the algae, all of these, and we all have been in that stage some point of our evolution, are all a part of God's creation. But Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham, to be born as a human being is God's grace, is divine grace, is the most outstanding sign of divine grace, is because a dog born as a dog dies as a dog. An elephant born as an elephant lives as an elephant, dies as an elephant. A lion born as a lion lives the life of a lion and dies as a lion. But it is only human beings who are born as a human being and by leading a truly human life can die with the realization that I am God. That is why the human life is most blessed, because we have the opportunity in the human life to be born as human and die with the realization that we are God. How many of us analyze the human life from this lens? We always think the objective of human life is to be born, to get educated, to get a good job, to get married, to have children, to get promotion, to earn enough money and save for the future, to raise your children, see your grandchildren, and in all that satisfaction of a complete life, die. Now, how are we different from animals? These are exactly the same things that animals do. Ahara, nidra, bhai maithunadi, samanya metat pashabir naranam, jnanam naranam adhikam visheshaha, jnanena shunyaha pashabir samanha. Ahar, food, nidra, sleep, bhai, fear, and procreation, increasing our own progeny, is common between human beings and animals. They also do that. They have their families, they have their communities. Those who are students of mathematics, there is an entire field called ant colony optimization. The entire field of algorithms is based on how ant colonies optimize their pathways to reach from one destination to the other, which means they have their own level of intelligence. Then how are human beings different? Human beings are different because we have viveka buddhi. It is discrimination to tell us what is right and what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is temporary, what is permanent. And to live in accordance with this understanding is the quintessential uniqueness of the human birth. If we do not use this, if we do what animals do by instinct, then there is no use of calling ourselves as human, because Swami always used to say, Akaramulo, you are human being, but not in acharanam. In the form you are a human being, but not in action. The action human being nature will be seen only when we live the life based on our viveka buddhi. So manushyattvam. Next, mumukshatvam. What is mumukshatvam? Mumukshatvam is a desire to lead a higher life. We are all living a mundane life. Out of the 700 crore individuals in this planet, how many are having the desire to lead a higher life, so that we don't have to come again, so that we merge back into the source from which we have come? We always are looking at improving our current existence and the status and the quality of life. But how much proportion of the human population is looking at culminating this life so that we don't have to take it again? In fact, the most recent form of attitude to life is, you are living your life only once, so enjoy it the most. They only live it once, we have done it crores of times. And that's why it is called samsara sagara. As many waves in the ocean, that many lifetimes we have gone through. That is the kind of evolution that we have undergone. And that's why our life is compared to the ocean. Because as the waves on the ocean cannot be counted, the number of lives we have taken that cannot be counted. And in all of that, we keep saying this: you're living only once, so enjoy yourself the most. No, mumukshatvam. To live a higher life, to live a refined life, to live an inspiring life, and to live a life which gives back to the society. In the super specialty hospital in Prashanthi Nilayam, if you have seen the large statue of Ganesha at the entrance, how many of you have seen? In the Prashanthi Nilayam super specialty hospital, yes, your state president and other leaders here have seen. And now don't raise your hands because your state president has seen. If you have genuinely seen, because I'm going to ask you, you please come here. You should sit here so you know who is. Please sit here so that you can inspect inside and outside. So how many have gone, because I'm going to ask a parallel question based on that. So how many have gone to the super specialty hospital in Puttaparthi? Okay, how many have gone to Puttaparthi? So why have the others not gone to the super specialty hospital? The super specialty hospital is doubly blessed, not only because it's an outstanding medical institution redefining tertiary healthcare, which has given free healthcare for the last 27 years and treated 40 lakh patients at no cost at all, which is unparalleled in this world. But it is also the hallowed precinct where Swami physically breathed his last. So if not anything, as a mark of respect, we must go to the hospital and benefit from the vibrations in that hallowed institution. But when you go there, do not forget to see the Ganesha at the entrance of the hospital in the altar. There's a huge, larger than life Ganesha of wood there. Now those who have gone, do you remember what is written at the base of that wooden Ganesha? Not the office bearers, here. All the people who raise their hands with enthusiasm that yes, we have gone, and who have gone there have seen Ganesha. Have you seen what mantra is written at the base of that Ganesha statue? No. As we are so enamored by the beauty, we are so involved in all the pictures of Swami that the message which is written in the bold letters is always overlooked. But that message is for us, not for Swami. Swami doesn't need a message, nor does Swami need to give a message. We need a message so that we can live that message. So it is for us. Every word is not to show what Swami said. Every word and every quotation in every corner of Prashanthi Nilayam is so that we know what we need to do. We always say Swami said that. But how much of that do we need to do is what all those messages are showing to us again and again. So yes, now from the elders, what is written at the base? Yes, Paropakarartham idam shariram. The human form has been given for doing good to others. Paropakaraya phalanti vrukshaha, Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha, Paropakaraya duhanti gavaha, Paropakarartham idam shariram. The river is flowing with water for us. Swami connected the Krishna from Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu so that you have sufficient water in the Pundi reservoir and the problems of water in Chennai are resolved, is again an unparalleled example of how a socio-spiritual organization has brought together two governments which never looked eye to eye, and which when looked eye to eye did not execute a project for 25 years. And Swami executed it in 18 months and dedicated to the people of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu and gave it free. Now we all eulogize Swami for that. But how many of us take forward that legacy of doing similar good in the best way that we can? The people of Chennai need to remember one thing. If there is any other place which was so very close to Swami besides Prashanthi Nilayam, it was Chennai. Because Brindavan is almost an extension of Prashanthi Nilayam. But Madras is not. And this is the place where he has come 50 times in his lifetime. 50 times. During World War II, Swami spent 4 months in Chennai. 4 months. Walking with fellow devotees. And in World War II, Swami was a teenager. is walking with fellow devotees on Mount Road. Absolutely unknown who he is, spent 4 months. So that is the kind of blessings the city of Chennai has received from Swami. And that's why even in his lifetime, one of the most outstanding contributions he did outside his home state was to Tamil Nadu through the water project. So paropakaraartham idam shariram, just like river gives water for others, the tree gives fruits to others, the cow milk gives milk for others, the human body has been given for serving others. We always feel that human body is meant for satisfying our own selves, and for the sake of our conscience, we can once in a year or once in a month do some service activity. No. Every day, every moment, whenever we get a chance, let us always live in the awareness that let me live for others. Even when we do our activities with the feeling that it's not for myself but for others, then even our professions will become far more fulfilling and satisfying. If our professions are meant to be earning money, then it's not at all an act of work. It's an act of transaction. Because the word work itself comes from the word karma. And the word karma itself has so much of purity associated with that. Because karmane namaha, the first worship or obeisance we have to offer to our karma. But if our karma is such that it is done only for earning money, then it is the lowest kind of karma. You need to earn well, you need to be self-sufficient so that you can help others. But if that is all that we want to do in our life and that is nothing else we are inspired to do, then it's an incomplete life. It's an insufficient life. It's a very mundane life. So mumukshatvam means the desire not to live a mundane life, but to live a higher life. And higher life does not mean that we need to give up everything and go and stay in the forests. Swami always used to say, hands in the society, head in the forest. Swami is among the only spiritual leaders who has never recommended sannyasa for anybody. Have you ever analyzed that? Swami never gave an ochre robe to anybody. He gave his robe to worship, but he never gave ochre robe to anybody. Do you understand why? Because he does not want to make the attitude of sannyasa an exclusive attitude for those who don the ochre robe. Each one of us have to be living that life every day by ensuring that we do not take our actions with a sense of doership. What is sannyasa? Swami had said in Kodaikanal to us in 2005, Sarvam nashayati sannyasam. When all your desires and preferences for this world are mentally destroyed, that is sannyasam. So you are physically doing everything, but mentally you are not having any longing, because that longing is the basis of rebirth. What is the base of all the problems, causes of all the problems? I am giving you this fundamental overview and then go into the management part of it. What is all the cause of all the problems in our life? No. What is the cause of all the problems in our life? No. Something very tangible. Huh? The cause of all the problems in our life is that we are born. Because we are born, we have problems. If we are not born, no problems. And why are we born? Now the answer, desires. Because we have all these desires, we are working all our life to fulfill them. And that which we are not fulfilled continue to lurk in our minds, that in the future they will get fulfilled. So first we will try to do it ourselves. We may not be successful. Then we will say, we say it with great pride, what I did not do, my son will do. He has his own life. Why should he do what you could not do? We want to live our unfulfilled dreams and desires through our children. If the children did not achieve that, then grandchildren. This sense of incomplete desires is what keeps us going all through our lives, and what does not get completed in lifetime, you come back again. So desires is the cause. So sannyasam is not an exclusive job of those who have renounced the world. Swami wanted all of us to be living in that reality every single day. That does not mean that we need to absolve ourselves of our responsibilities and activities and household duties and societal responsibilities. Everything we need to do. But giving up that sense of desire and doership is the fundamental requirement in the Sai way of life. So mumukshatvam means this constant desire of a higher life. And if we have that, then we are truly blessed. And the last is Mahapurusha Samshaya. To be having the company of a realized being, to be having the company of a great soul is possible only by divine grace. To have the company of the avatar himself is definitely not possible without divine grace. Because those who choose God are in reality chosen by God. We think we chose Swami. We think we have come into Swami's fold. No. The set of things that we have done is what has brought us here by him considering us as a befitting meant to be brought in his proximity. So, Manushyatvam, Mumukshatvam, Mahapurusha Samshaya. These are the three most rare things in this world, and these are possible only by divine grace. So anytime in the future we ever think that we are not lucky, we are not blessed, we are not as popular, we are not as famous, we are not as wealthy, we must realize that all of these things may not need God's grace. But if we have the three things that I mentioned in the words of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, then we are truly, truly blessed by the grace of God. So I think all of us fall into that category, and all of us need to continuously reflect on that opportunity that we have got. So the whole theme of today is focused on values-based management and transformation in spirituality. Actually, it's a very interesting thing that the organizers have done. First they said, what is the theme for today? They said values-based management. Then I said, I don't want to come to Sundaram and talk about management. I want to talk about transformation, spirituality and other topics. So I got another message from the organizers. What is the new theme? Values-based management and transformation and spirituality. So everything that you want to talk under that, you can talk. No problem. So that's what I had to do. I had to start with values-based management and then bring in concepts of transformation and spirituality. In my talk here or several others on YouTube and elsewhere, you will not find much of Swami's experiences, but you will find all of Swami's message, because I firmly believe we have reached a stage where experiences are inconsequential. To analyze, discuss and reminisce the divinity of Swami is an internal sadhana that we need to do. To reaffirm that is our consistent spiritual practice. But to go on looking for that in the public domain is a childish behavior. Bhagavatam and the stories of Bhagavatam are meant for primary school. Swami always used to say, when I talk to primary school, I talk about Bhagavatam stories. You come to higher secondary school, then I have to talk to you about Bhagavad Gita, the message of Krishna, Mahabharata, how the war was fought, what is dharma, what is adharma, and all of that. Then Krishna lifted the mountain and Krishna stole butter, and all of those things will become childish for you, right? You want to know how dharma is executed, how war strategies are formulated, how the message of Bhagavad Gita can be practiced. That is higher secondary school. Then when you come to college, Swami said, you have to get the message of the Upanishads. That the divine principle is the substratum of all that exists. And the whole objective of life is to resonate with that divine message. And if you want to do PhD, Swami always used to say, I will give you PhD degree. What is the meaning of PhD? Two meanings Swami gave. One, of course, is what PhD stands for. The other is to be a patient, humble devotee is to do PhD. Because he will test your patience, he will make you humble, and then you will remain a devotee for the rest of your life. That is true PhD. So if we have achieved that, then we also are all PhDs. But what is PhD? PhD in the world outside means you contribute some original ideas which are not existent. Right? That is research. You are researching what has already been searched, you are adding to that and you are contributing something original. That's what even Gaudapada made Govindapada do, and Govinda Bhagavatapada made Adi Shankaracharya do that. When he wrote the Bhashyams on the Brahma Sutras, then Govinda Bhagavatapada said, yes, now Shankaracharya is ready to go and spread the message of Sanatana Dharma across India. So if we are interested in the PhD degree, then we need to be understanding the Brahma Sutras. What is the Brahma Sutra? Very simple definition Swami has given. Just like a thread is the basis of all the pearls that are put together in a necklace, God is the unseen basis of this entire visible creation. Brahma or divinity is the sutra or the connecting thread of this entire visible creation. But just as the thread is not seen in a pearl necklace, divinity is the unseen binding force in this visible, tangible, seen creation. So if we are all youth, then we are either college or postgraduates or post-PhDs or PhD level. So then Bhagavatam definitely does not feature in our syllabus. That is Balvika's syllabus. What features in a syllabus is understanding the nuances of dharma, putting it into practice, understanding the nuances of divinity, and finally giving our own contribution through action and understanding about what this divine principle is all about. So that is the level and platform on which we need to be progressing going forward. If our understanding of Swami is limited to materialization, to miracles, and to all of the tangible manifestations that we have seen, then it is limiting Krishna to the lifting of the Govardhan mountain or the showing of the Brahmanda in his mouth to Yashoda. That's a very small part of the life of Krishna. He gave it up when he left Gokula Vrindavan. Thereafter, he was always indulging in action. So that is the message that Swami has given us. We have to consistently transform the message. First of all, understand the divinity of Swami. Having understood and internalized it, transform ourselves to the next level where we are able to accept, reflect and practice his message. And the third stage is to be an inspiration for others. Because the problem is, despite being an organization for 50 years, we are still looking for inspiration outside. We all want outside people to come and talk to us. We want people from outside Sundaram to talk, from outside India to talk, possibly from outside the world also to come and talk. Why shouldn't each one of us be the inspiration for each other? Having got an experience of 50 years as a service organization, one of the largest in the country, with 600,000 active workers across thousands of centers in 25 states of India, Satyasai Seva Organization is among the largest socio-spiritual organizations in India and among the longest, almost 55 years now. We'll be celebrating in 2020. Each one of us have to be that moving inspiration that for which we are looking outside. Having been in Swami's fold for so many years, if we are still looking for inspiration outside, that means the number of years that we've invested in Swami's fold is insufficient. What have we gained being in Swami's fold for so many years and decades? We all say, oh, the moment anybody introduces, I came to Swami in 1975. I came to Swami in 1965. My great-grandmother saw Swami in 1955. If your great-grandmother saw Swami in 1955, and now it is almost 2020, for the last 65 years your family has been in Swami's fold. What transformation has been brought about in you if you are still going to be looking outside for inspiration, motivation and performance? The number of years we've lived within the institution should be reflected in the kind of work that we are doing, the kind of transformation that it has brought about, and the kind of inspiration we are able to give through our actions and our words. That is the true proof of the pudding. If the long number of years is only going to be in for claiming that I've been here for so many years and for no change inside, then it's like a rock which is inside a pond, which is there for hundreds of years, but it's of no use. But a lotus inside the pond instantly blossoms, gives beauty to the pond, gives inspiration to the people outside, and silently concludes his life in a very short period of time. That is the kind of difference, whether we want to be a rock in the pond or we want to be that beautiful bloomed lotus in the pond that inspires, gives beauty and spreads fragrance. That is Satyam, Shivam and Sundaram. That is the role which each one of us have to play in the Sai mission. So our journey is to move from that rock to that lotus in the Sai mission.